distinguished guests, and honorable chairperson and honorable speaker. It's my great pleasure to be here again, a second time. And I take this invitation very seriously because in the world, there's only few of the ministries still called the Ministry of the Railway. In China, just a few years ago, our Ministry of Railway already have been dismantled. So congratulations, you are still survived. And not long ago, my colleagues and I visited the National Railway Museum in Delhi. Which impresses me most is China and India share so much similarities in the field. Both are countries on the track. Railway brings change to the two countries' economic and social landscapes. Affects hundreds of millions of people's livelihood and settlement, and bears relevance to the country's lasting security, prosperity, and development. During the 40 days Spring Festival holiday that just ended last month in China, there are 360 million Chinese traveled on train back to hometown and workplaces, which means near 9 million passengers every day. In this group, more than half takes the high-speed train running at over 300 kilometers per hour. In the compartment of China high-speed train, passengers have found an interesting and time-consuming game. That is to bet how long the corn can stand up on the window sill of the fast-running train. Would you guess? It's about at least 10 minutes. So Chinese high-speed train is not only bestowed with the fastest speed and the most fabulous stability, but also has the longest mileage in the whole world. Over 20,000 kilometer high-speed track. There are more than 4,200 high-speed trains running and carrying 4.5 million passengers every day. In the 2030, the operating mileage of the China high-speed railway will reach 45,000 kilometers and connect all big cities of over 500,000 population. It will no longer be a dream that Chinese people arrive in any city of China on train within a day and reach any nearby city within an hour. China's high-speed railway constructor and operator would like to share the following experience with India counterparts. First, absolute safety. The equivalent numbers of passengers safely transported by China high-speed railway has reached 5 million. According to the statistics of the International Union of Railways and the European Railway Agency, the operation security level of China's railway ranks first around the world. Secondly, market-oriented management and no money loss in the long term. The Beijing-Shanghai Express railway operation began to make profit after the first 3 years, while that of Japan and France took decades. The construction cost of the China's high-speed railway is about 2/3 of that of the European countries and the US. Thirdly, compatibility, which means the current system would adapt to all kinds of geological and climate conditions, and to be integrated into other systems and technology for further upgraded. We can align with other technology like Japan, Spanish, and France, and Americans. It can be integrated very well. A closed and incompatibility system might seem fancy, advanced, and cheap within a certain period of time, while it would become a burden for technological progress and financial sustainability in the long run. Firstly, consistent efforts to improve service. With the RD-based ticket booking system, over 70% of Chinese train tickets are sold through the internet. In some major railway stations, automatic ticket tracking machine with a face recognition function are installed to facilitate passengers' entry. It takes only 3 seconds for every passenger to enter the station. People feel quite convenient with it, and criminals and terrorists would be kept out at the same time. Today, the Chinese passengers can surf the internet quite easily on the high-speed train and will enjoy Wi-Fi system full coverage in the coming 3 to 5 years. After passenger downloads of app on the station website and enters the compartment of the high-speed train, the app would be autonomously escape and connect to the free Wi-Fi. Fifthly, experience of international cooperation. At present, there are more than 30 countries involved in the cooperation negotiation with China's high-speed railway companies, and the overall investment of related projects is about $470 billion. 60, emphasize on the combination with other transport measures. The China-South Asia International Freight Route extends from the Lanzhou city of China of Kathmandu to the Kathmandu of Nepal. It merely takes 10 days from the standard container to cover the whole route, which saves 2/3 of the time compared to the sea-land joint transportation. The cost is almost the same, but the economic efficiency is largely different. There are railway cooperation agreements between China and India governments. The two sides are pushing cooperation in all-round way, focusing on 5 fields: increasing the speed of existing track, upgrade and improvement of stations, setting up a railway university, railway personnel training, and high-speed feasibility study. Chinese enterprises have joined the city subway construction of Delhi and Mumbai and launched the feasibility study of high-speed railway of 2 routes, the Delhi-Chennai and Delhi-Mumbai. All this wins the high praise of the relevant owners. Chinese enterprises are good at upgrading the existing railway track and show great interest in the plan to redevelop the India's railway station into traffic and commercial complex. The Shanghai Hongqiao railway station is indeed a huge, prosperous, and human-oriented complex. China's overseas railway construction highly values the host country's need, including technology transfer, local manufacturing redo, and the creation local jobs and environmental protection. The railway project named Mombasa-Nairobi in the Kenya, constructed by the China enterprises, will be complete this year. The railway is going to create more than 40,000 jobs, trained 20,000 techniques, and add an extra 1.5% to the GDP growth rate of Kenya. Along this route, 14 wildlife channels are set in the place, and giraffes could cross without bowing down and lowering head. Friends, there are emerging waves of railway constructions, especially the high-speed railway. In February this year, the high-speed railway construction between the London and Birmingham started. The colleagues of the UK will maybe explain for that, but I really value for that. This is the first railway to be constructed in the past 130 years. In UK and the US Trump administration is also preparing ground infrastructure plan, including the high-speed railway, and Chinese company are also involved in that. Chinese President Xi Jinping put forward the Belt and Road Initiative more than 3 years ago. China will host the Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation in May this year in Beijing, on which connectivity is a priority and transportation infrastructure like railway is a top priority. Several land economic corridors and the Belt and Road Initiative highly rely on the railway as a backbone. You can see the map. All this kind of corridor is about 6 corridors on the land. They all rely on based on the existing or the planned railway system. China helps the Laos, Thailand, Indonesia, Ethiopia, Hungary, and Serbia in building railways, and also fully using the existing railway network of Eurasia in Europe. At present, there are over 40 continent train routes started from the major city in China to Europe, Middle East, and Central Asia. Then they have been operated over 200 times cumulatively. Related export and import have reached over $20 billion. A number of countries get good price for their agriculture and sideline products go in the hinterland. Quite a few landlocked cities become new hubs of logistics. Our target is to replace the camel with train and bring back the historical glory of the ancient Silk Road. China and India are big neighboring countries with 1.3 billion population respectively. People-to-people exchange exceeds 1 million every year. Trade volume surplus $70 billion. While at the same time, there has been no railway connecting of our two countries so far. It is really a pity. China not only would like to participate in India's national strategy, such as Making India, Diamond Quadrilateral Project, and Smart City Mission, but also hopes to integrate the Belt Road Initiative with India's Act East policy. Railway cooperation could bridge the two countries' cooperation. About 1.5 centuries ago, the industrialization of the Western powers have brought a worldwide wave of railway construction, which changed India, China, and the world. Today, India and China are pioneers in economic globalization and industrialization, and leading another wave of the railway construction. The cooperation between our two countries has an unlimited potential. Our railway cooperation will change the world once again. Thank you for your attention.